The Ronald Show, starring Ronald, documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the host of the Ronald Show, Ronald.
Now available at Amazon and Barnes & Noble is Harry Johnson, Diary of a Gigolo Porn Star. The crazy adventure of a 1951-born male in Beaufort, Georgia with a 2-foot penis that grows to 3 feet. He goes on to become an international porn star after becoming a war hero in Vietnam. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
He started the tour with it, and he ended the tour went on.
Smile, Kurt.
Jeffrey!
So serious.
So, good show though. I thought.
Sorry.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was amazing. There were a few spots. We'll talk about that as we go on. But we still have some people here. Yeah, chat away. Well, this gentleman is pretty cool. What's your name?
Kurt Jeffrey.
You won back in '84 at the height of the '84 album, which had Jump in Panama and All Wake, songs we well played tonight. You won a pretty amazing prize from MTV. What was it?
Like the Lost Week in the Van Halen, 732 off the Coast Guard. Yeah, they were going next to I think 9 out. So.
You got what? What did you win?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Ronald Show, starring your host, Ronald. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Ronald Show. All right, how are you doing? That's my introduction. I think that's going to be the new introduction. I think that'll work. And then I can put some background music to it. Like that one song. I'm getting the mail here. Let me turn on the air conditioner a little bit. It's Florida. Today is... I'll tell you what day today is. It is Friday, and it is Friday, April 29th. So, we are not far from getting some type of an announcement from the global military-industrial complex. Oh, by the way, did I say that? This is the Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex. I'm your host, Ronald. Thank you for watching the Ronald Show. Today is April 29th, Friday, 2011. And as part of documenting the collapse of life as we know it, as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex, I have told you all along during season 1 that, and I believe this is still 1, episode 13, the last episode of the season, or this will be a part of 2. It just depends. But anyway, as I've been saying, sometime here in the next 30 days, sometime in May, the President of the United States Government Corporation, your CEO, Obama, CEO your chief operating officer of the United States Corporation, the corporation that you are a member of or employee of through your Social Security number, employee number. You were made an employee when you were born, so he's going to be telling his company that something's about to happen that's going to damage the infrastructure of the company, or at least change it. And part of the whole deal with this kind of change is that it's going to make certain resources scarce in certain areas, because there's a few possible events that are going to happen that are being predicted. And I don't even know if I want to put them out there, because if I get you guys thinking about it, then what happens is if too many people hear about this and start thinking about it, we could wind up with a mass subconscious that creates the events that we want to avoid. Because remember, you get what you think about. So I'm looking at changing the strategy of the way I deliver information on my show, which is to not focus on the problems anymore, which I have done, but to primarily focus on the solution. And the solution is to visualize those things that you want to manifest into your life. You get what you think about. A man becomes what he thinks about. And we are beings that are a product of thought. So let's focus on what the solutions are from now on. And that's what we're going to do. And the first primary solution is understanding your responsibility to yourself as a human being. You weren't born into indentured slavitude. You were born a free human being, an energy being of thought, into this thought-created physical reality that you're experiencing. So the first thing you want to do is gain control over your thinking and decide what you are going to allow to invade and dictate your thinking. Therefore, you have to consider what sources of information you're using to create your reality. Are you getting your information from television, radio, newspapers, the internet? Or are you getting it through meditation with no sound outside? Just imagine, do you go through periods of days where you're not listening to the radio or television at all, or on the internet? What is connected into you, and how is it driving what you believe to be real? There's we want to start creating a positive manifestation of what we see and believe to be real. And if your reality has been manipulated by misinformation through the global media, then your perception of reality might not be as accurate as you think it is, especially with the way the public education system has been a tool for feeding the information into the system that creates the reality for the global masses. And many of the people that fund the education system are those same people that fund the global military industrial complex, the Rockefeller Institute, the Rhodes Scholar. Some of those same families doing those great benefits for their remarkable leaders throughout the education system also go through a personal indoctrination program with the handshakes and the grips and the secrets about the true history of mankind on this planet. So if you're not getting the handshake, then you're not getting the real info. And therefore, understanding where you're getting programmed from, and then figuring out the way you want your future and your planet and your reality to be. If you like it the way it is, with the stress and the work, and the sole purpose of your life being for that of earning some type of profit based on the monetary system as we see it. Do you like living in that world? Do you like being the employee of a company who takes almost everything that you do, even your home? All your profit and earnings don't go to you. You never get to reach your true potential in the way the current system is. The vast majority don't. Those who are in positions of power and leadership, that 1% of the world population, they have controlled it so that they get the profit and we earn that profit for them through our physical labor, basically slaves for a global corporation. The United States government is not a government, it's a corporation. President Obama is the CEO of the corporation, and the corporation has different departments. And your social security number is your employee number, so do you like living under that system? There's a different way to go about doing it. We have all the resources we need on this planet to use solar and nuclear power so that we don't have to use fossil fuels or worry about energy depletion or worry about physical labor. And we don't need a monetary system or a for-profit system. We have enough resources and enough global intelligence now to put everything together into a system where everyone can have all the unlimited possessions and physical objects that they need to survive, which we have right now. But we have a middleman called the greenback or the dollar bill or the monetary system that has changed our God-given plan in this life on how to live as a human being. We're living as human beings in a certain way, in a certain lifestyle to which we've become accustomed, and it's an unhealthy environment that we live in, with our water and food being corporately poisoned because of profit and the belief that resources are scarce. Because there's a belief by the global military industrial complex that we have scarce resources, population has become an issue. When we do have all the room we need to have as many people on this planet as we want, we can have billions and billions. We can have twice the capacity. There are plenty of resources. So anyway, the goal is for us to decide how we live. So that's the goals we want to focus on. How do we want to live? Do we want to live according to scarcity and physical and mental poisoning from our environment? Or do we want to live at one with nature, with unlimited resources, in cooperation with the physical restrictions of the earth, so that we don't rape her minerals and oils and lifeblood from her, because she supports us? We want to use the sun as power, automate everything that we need, and restructure the way things are done so that there is no poverty, scarcity, or hunger. And all animals and humans can live in harmony, and we can bring our intelligence and technology to a new level that offers us the opportunity for space travel and unlimited potential. Space and inner space and interstellar and through to different solar systems. So that's our goal. I mean, if you look at Star Trek, one of the most popular television shows of all time, you'll see that Star Trek was a world in which there was no monetary system on planet Earth or in the Federation. They all knew each other. They didn't operate for a monetary system. They did look for natural resources, such as stones and minerals and just a planet to settle down on, even sometimes. Or they even looked at the human race as a commodity or other species. So it's different when you're not working with a monetary system. And that's what Gene Roddenberry's vision was, and he said one of the most successful and well accepted global concepts ever in the history of our media, global media. So let's bridge the gap there. And how can we get to that environment? Well, the easiest thing to do, and this is the real solution, is to turn away from your government, quit your current company. And you do that by basically shredding all of your documentation and withdrawing your social security number from that corporate name. And by doing so, if everybody does so in unison, then that company ceases to exist as a company because it has no employees. A company without employees, ceases to exist. So the solution to getting rid of the global military industrial complex is to actually turn away from it, quit it en masse. Everyone on the planet has to go. First, everyone's got to understand where we are as a planet, as human beings, the system that we're in. And then we have to decide as one to change that system. And then we have to execute the plan to change that system. And the plan is to quit the United States Corporation, quit the United Kingdom Corporation, quit the Germany Corporation. Wherever you're a citizen on this planet, you're not the citizen of a government, you're the employee of a corporation. That's what all this profit and money and taxes are all about. It's because it's in a corporate structure. It is a corporation. So all you do is quit. You disenroll, you tear up your social security number, you tear up your birth certificate, and you keep your house and you keep whatever assets that you have, and you stay where you are, and you continue to go to your job until everything is phased out through automation. And then when you go to the store, you can get what they need. We won't need Monsanto, the genetic modifier of food on this planet. All those people don't have to go to work anymore. You can go back. You can go sign up at a college, re-educate yourself, and figure out what you want to work in. But everything will change anyway. Business. Are we going to need lawyers anymore? Lawyers. What they do is basically arbitrate financial cases. Cases of it's all about finance. These are all courts of commerce that lawyers are working in, where you're not allowed to speak your mind, because when you hire an attorney by law, the legal system looks on you, the human being, as an imbecile. Actually, you're not really speaking for yourself when you're in court. You're there representing your corporate fiction, the social security number, the account. It's not even you. So we wouldn't need lawyers anymore. What would we need lawyers for? There'd be no financial cases. The only courts that would be set up would be courts of physical crime, like rape and murder and violence. That's different. That's a human being on human being crime. We would have to assess the way we're going to handle those, but it would basically be find out why these people committed the crime, put them in, you can have psychotherapists for every single physical crime criminal in prison. We wouldn't need to control drugs anymore, really. Would we really need to push pharmaceuticals instead of simply creating a new system where people actually counsel one another, and we use holistic healing instead of pharmaceuticals, and we don't cut and burn anymore with radiation. We get in touch with the human body and the energy being that it is, because it's not physical. So everything in your reality is a manifestation of your mental activity. You know, and without the commercials needed anymore to sell products, TV could become more informative, less commercial, less programming through sex and food urges, because, you know, commercials and movies and TV programs are all there to sell commercial time. So they get you to watch by using programming, sex, and subliminal advertising. And that totally, you know, screws with your priorities in life. Because your priorities in life have been shaped by something that you probably haven't even given thought to. What has shaped your priorities? Your parents, your education, and your media, right? And where did your parents get their programming from? Their government. And where do you get your programming from? Your parents, what you read, what you learned in the education system, and what you hear in the media. And I'm sure by now you've got to realize that you don't know what the truth is about anything, for one thing, for sure. And that you are probably a nationalist, meaning you're very rah about your country, and you hate illegal aliens, and you're into this whole war on terror thing, and your whole life is being being controlled by the rhetoric that you're now having poured into your head 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So you're going to want to realize how your reality and ideals and your priorities have been shaped. And I think once you take a look at that, it will be easy for you to understand that it's really a simple choice to quit one company and start a new one. It's also going to take everybody doing it. So we might wind up not being able to do it. I don't know. I know that I no longer answer to my global military industrial complex employee number. I quit that company. So I don't even answer to that corporate name. If I don't know somebody and they call my name, I know they're calling me in a corporate capacity, and they're calling for my social security number. They're not calling for me, especially if it's the police not saying, hey, you can't park here, or you got to pay this speeding ticket, or, you know, or whatever, anything that's commercial, or you you went through 4 tolls on the speed pass without paying. You got to pay this ticket. So Alright, I gotta go. Thanks for watching The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it is perpetrated by the global military industrial complex. You'll figure it out.
This city belongs to me.
Right, but...
You've got tons of people, celebrities, parties, money, power.
You can't stop it. It's Tampa's biggest film festival. They're throwing red carpet parties, hanging with movie stars, premiering films from all over the world, including mine.
Interesting. When's this job going down?
February 28th to March 7th at Tampa's Channel-side movie theater.
Gamma boy, I got an idea for a script. This beautiful woman falls in love with a guy like me, who works for an inconsiderate, unappreciative boss. What?
van and a massage chair and a Motu Pre. We can make excuses from the start, tiptoeing around what's really hard. Sit at home and cry about what's on TV, or walk out and be the change you want to see. March out. I'd give some time, but that's just easier than lies. You see, my life is so busy. If I thought of you, I'd forget me. You see, I'm my own charity. I could give to you, but it's much more fun when it's all about me. We can make excuses from the start, tiptoeing around what's really hard. Sit at home and cry about what's on TV, or walk out and be the change you want to see. March out. We can make excuses from the start, tiptoeing around what's really hard. Sit at home and cry about what's on TV, or walk out and be the change you want to see. We can make excuses from the start, tiptoeing around what's really hard. Sit at home and cry about what's on TV, or walk out and be the change you want to see. March out.
What if a government intelligence analyst from the Pentagon is forced to save mankind from extinction and the world from destruction, but first he must evolve into the Messiah and create the plan to save the world? The 21st century Messiah arrives, battles dark forces, and sparks the Armageddon that leads to the apocalypse, rapture, the 2012 pole shift, and extraterrestrial contact. Buy the book today by Ronald Farnham at Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The Second Coming of the Messiah, Book 1, The Awakening.
Says he's got a string G-string back on. Took it out for a movie.
Have you ever wanted to write a book? Have you ever wanted to write a screenplay? Have you ever wanted to have your great movie idea turned into a screenplay, turned into a movie, turned into a book, and distributed all over the world? Well, now you can learn how to do it with the great new book by Ronald, How to Write a Screenplay in 30 Days or Less. It includes the logline, theme, synopsis, outline, and screenplay of the 3 magic questions. Learn how to write a screenplay in 30 days or less, or your money back. Get it today at Amazon or Barnes & Noble.
Hello and welcome back to the Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it as perpetrated by the global military industrial complex. I am your host, Ronald, and today is still April 29th, Friday, 2011, and I'm leaving the flea market where I've been selling a bunch of stuff like, I don't know, like this, the USB desktop fan with LED light, even the tobacco-free, smoke-free electronic cigarette. I'm not a smoker, but it's not really smoking. You can use it on a plane, in a restaurant, in a cab, in the airport, at the bus station, wherever. You know, the e-cigarette. They're popular. So, the topic I want to discuss is what I'm finding out about the mass consciousness right now. Is that I talk to a lot of people at the flea market. I have some people online. I get a lot of emails from a lot of different people, and everybody is saying the same thing. They're saying the economy is hosed. Oh, you know, things are bad these days. All the different stuff that doomsayers are saying is being filtered on down to the mass consciousness or subconscious. Really both. People are hearing it, believing it, regurgitating it. All this doom and gloom say about how bad things are. And the best thing we can do is disconnect from that rhetoric so that we can reprogram our subconscious mind and our global consciousness into a more positive frame of mind. You know, the one thing that I've been seeing that reflects physically the economy is gas prices. Gas prices have been going up. Food prices have been going up also, in correlation to really products, goods, and services are increasing in price because gasoline prices have increased. And the job market is not keeping up with the cost of, I guess, what you would call inflation. The inflation, I guess, is the rise in prices and the rise in gas. There's a lot of jobless people also, people out of job, people out of work. And that's causing issues too, and that's making its way through popular culture, through the internet, through TV, on the news. So our primary mission, I believe, as a species right now, is to regain control over our conscious mind, what we believe is really going on. And what's really going on is currencies, prices are being manipulated by government corporations in order to control your thinking, and your thinking is also being controlled by the mass media. So, what we can do about this is that we can disconnect, like I said just a little while ago. Disconnect. Turn off the television. Turn off the radio. concentrate on your immediate area, what's in arm's reach, what you can touch, what you can see, what you can feel, what you can hear. Those are the senses that are making up your reality. Regaining control of your reality means regaining control over the input that your physical senses are receiving about your reality. Like attracts like. I guess the number one law they say in the universe is the law of attraction, which states that which is like unto itself is drawn, meaning birds of a feather flock together. Basically, what you think about, everything is a vibration. So your thoughts attract more thoughts of similar embodiment. So whatever you're thinking, you're going to attract more thoughts to yourself like those thoughts. And your thoughts also shape your physical reality. So your physical reality is going to draw more of the same into your life based on what you're thinking about. So if you want to change your reality, you change your thinking. Mankind right now, I believe at large, the human race feels powerless against the powers that be, the global military-industrial complex, the corporations that are posing as governments and have you enslaved via your social security number. They are the entities that are controlling your reality. Really, it's just a corporation that's controlling your reality, or several corporations all under one parent umbrella corporation, the global military-industrial complex, NATO, all of the corporations, government corporations working as one, the federal banking system, which is just another corporation. So, in order to neutralize or get past their power and stranglehold over your reality, the way to do that is to disengage yourself from those companies, from those corporations. Return to who you really are, the human being. Drop that social security number. Drop that corporate identification. Become you again, but we all have to do it as one. 1 million people isn't going to cut it. Everyone, even business owners, have to tear up their social security card, and we need to form a new way of doing things without a monetary system. Remember, once the corporations go away, the monetary system goes away because there's no more accounts. The monetary system is fed through and by and within the structure that is built upon the millions and billions of social security numbers and national identification numbers that make up the total corporation that runs the planet, feeding off of and being manipulated by the monetary system. With no more accounts, there would be no more monetary system. No more need to live your life based on profit, really, which most of us aren't making. Most of us are just doling out taxes to the profit mongers, which are the government corporations. That is the solution. Creating one planetary thought, focusing on the one goal, which is to disenroll from the government corporations. And that byproduct will be the evaporization of the monetary system. Evaporization, is that a word? Maybe evaporation? Evaporation of the monetary system. It will go away, it will disappear. Remember, the monetary system exists on paper only. Your social security number exists on paper only. The IRS exists on paper only. You, the human being, are not a sheet of paper. You've been indoctrinated your entire life to believe that there is only one way to do things, and that is the current way. And the current way is poisoning people and the planet, your mind, your reality, your planet, your subconscious, your body. You're being poisoned because profit has created a system where poisonous food and water is being fed to you every single day. Chlorine, fluoride, MSG, aspartame, sugar, high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, all being pumped into your food and water supply. It does not have to be that way. Without profit being the bottom line goal of everything that goes on this planet, the monetary system going away, there would be no more need to get people hooked on sugar, sugary foods, processed foods, the chemicals that we're using. The healthcare system would be totally revamped. Think about it. Our GDP, or gross domestic product, is trillions of dollars. 17% of that is derived from the healthcare sector. Healthcare, medical services. So 17% of our gross domestic product feeds off of sickness. In the current structure, if sickness disappeared and we were able to use the cures that we do have for cancer, if we stopped selling people things that cause heart disease and obesity, that would really affect the gross domestic profit, because there's no reason to be sick. So, in order to keep our current way of life going, these companies believe that the best thing to do is keep people sick. When Oprah Winfrey came out against meat, which is highly toxic, remember, when you cook meat, you cook all of its own natural digestive enzymes out of it, and it sits in your intestines and putrefies. It makes you sick and causes cancer. It creates an acidic environment in your body. You don't want your body in an acidic state. You want your pH levels to be balanced so you're alkaline. Cancer cells cannot thrive in an alkaline environment. Sure, everybody gets cancer cells throughout their life, and the body's natural defense mechanisms wipe out those cancer cells. So the thing to understand is that if you keep your body alkaline, there's no reason to be sick. That means not eating sugar, not eating meat in any form, no cooked meat, no cooked red meat, no cooked chicken, no cooked fish, pork, none of that. It's all killing you all over the planet. Killing me, you know. Tobacco. That's why I sell these smoky cigarettes, these e-cigarettes. They're disposable. It's water vapor, and it keeps people from smoking. I'm hoping the tobacco industry one day just collapses because of the e-cigarette. So you got to realize we're on a self-destructive path that's being created by outside forces that can be neutralized by totally turning the other cheek and disconnecting from that force that is driving your subconscious mind and your way of life. It does not have to be that way. And the only way they have power over you physically is through police power and military power. Meaning that when we make this change to a new reality, all those people who are in the military, all those police officers, you're going to have to join us and do the same thing by disconnecting. Don't work for the government anymore. Don't work for the police anymore. And if you don't, and you keep working for them, and you put a gun in a human being's face and force them out of their home onto the street, then you're going to have to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the question, is this right? Am I doing what is right? Was I supposed to come onto this earth and live this life to suppress people, to oppress people, to enslave people, and be part of that system? Because if you're in the military and you're working for the police, you are a part of that system of oppression. Think about that, police officers. Think about that, military personnel. Think about what you're really doing, the agenda that you're really serving. Think about the rhetoric that's being put out. I used to work for the military-industrial complex. I was a counterterrorism analyst with a top-secret clearance. I used to read all of the intelligence reporting about all of the different situations around the world. I worked at Central Command. Special Operations Command, Southern Command, Pacific Command. I read about the Middle East, South America, Korea, Special Operations Command, which is global. So I was dealing with all kinds of information from all over the planet about different terrorist-related activity, which is really all of the intelligence organizations sharing information about every little thing that's going on that they are controlling, they are creating. Our intelligence operatives train foreign intelligence operatives, and they work in these terrorist cells, creating terror. It's a self-licking ice cream cone. Ask any military-industrial complex employee who is privy to classified information along the realms of counterterrorism activity or terrorist activity or the war on terror or intelligence on the ground, human intelligence, signals intelligence, technical intelligence, measurements and signatures intelligence. Everything is intelligence. And our government controls that intelligence and does not divulge the truth to the people based on the term national security. Don't you want to know the truth? Or do you want to continue dying needlessly, being poisoned to death, and living a life of slavery? And that's the situation right now. A life of slavery for every human being on the planet. Even the members of the government corporations, most of the politicians are and military are trapped in that world with no way to get out of it because their livelihood depends on it, because they get paid for it. Everything is monetary system driven. I turned my back on the U.S. military-industrial complex and the global military-industrial complex because I realized what I was doing. I quit that, and I went into basically a state of poverty just about, where I had to scrimp and save and work and figure out a way to make money, but I knew I wasn't going to go back to doing that. And now it's working out, you know, now things are going good, but it took time. It was a sacrifice. I sacrificed a lot, sacrificed relationships, had to give up my home, my car, my family, everything, because I was not going to do it anymore, and I didn't care. I cared about finding out the truth. Once I knew the truth, now I care about dispensing the truth, putting it out there so that you guys know what the solution is. Everybody's talking about the problem. The problems. That's all that we're talking about, the situation. If you focus on the problem, you keep getting the problem. If you focus on the solution, which is what I'm focusing on, the solution, then you get the solution, period. If you want a solution, you have to focus on the solution. If you focus on the problem, you'll keep getting more of the same, period. In order to make a change, you have to find a new way to do things. Doing things the same way and expecting a different outcome, they say, is insane, right? To keep doing things the same way and expecting a different outcome is insanity. Currently, we are living in a world of insanity. Especially being we keep going to these polls and these voting booths and believing that we are voting for someone who is going to help the people. Regardless of who becomes president and who you vote for, they work for the United States corporation. They are the CEO, the chief executive officer of the military, of the Department of Energy, of the United States corporation. And it's the same in every country. And so it does not matter who becomes president. If they try to do anything drastic and make a big change, then they're pulled out of office. Anybody who speaks out in a large way to a large number of people to change the subconscious and try and take control away from the people who have control, they wind up missing or dead, assassinated, shot, a heart attack, they disappear, whatever. Ostracized, pulled out of their job. People have come forward after doing research on the genetically modified seeds and food that we're eating and said that this is very dangerous to the DNA of the human being and is going to have long-term health detriments to mankind's health. And those people that speak out, you know, trained scientists who've done years of research and put out quality papers that have been viewed by their peers, are fired from their jobs because they tell the truth. Laboratories are set up where people are finding cures for cancer. Holistic. And then when they start spreading that information, their laboratories are shut down and they're put in jail. There's a control factor and a system in place that is not going to let power be wrested from the hands of the global military-industrial complex unless and until we act as one and have a new way of doing things, which is tearing up your Social Security card, burning all of your cash. Just think about it. If everybody took all of their cash out of the bank and burned it, there would be no more cash, no more currency. Without currency, there'd be no debt. We can actually burn our debt. And then what? The government corporation is going to buy more cash from the Federal Reserve? No. If we act as one and we have a coordinated effort and we do something like what I want everyone to do, then they will have no control over us. Are you telling me that I think there's 350,000 military members, and there are 300 million people in the United States, and there are police force in every city. So if everybody quit, they would have to take all of the police officers and all of the military members all over the world, bring them back to the United States, knock on every door and pull everybody out into the street and throw them out of their house. Are they going to do that? Are they going to pull everybody out of their homes and throw them into the street? That's not right. They can't do it. Do not answer your door to a military member or a police officer. They are not there to serve and protect you. They are there to serve the United States corporation and their military and police power. That is their function. That's the function they're being used for. You might say they have more than one function. They're protecting the safety of the citizens of the United States. But once you realize that the 9/11 attacks on the World Trade Center were carried out by our intelligence community and other intelligence communities around the world, along with the help of the Bush family, Jeb Bush, whose company went in as a cleaning crew and painted thermite paint on the pillars of Towers 1 and 2 so that they did a controlled demolition, internal demolition. They dropped them. Building 11 fell and was never hit by anything. And I bet if you check the records there, if you can even get your hands on them, you will find that Jeb Bush's company was in there too. The Bushes are evil dictators. George Bush Sr. started the drug trade in the United States and is a pedophile. George Bush W. is an alcoholic and a cocaine addict and a criminal and an idiot. Obama is just the CEO of the government corporation, and he has strong blood ties to the Bush family and other royalty around the world. It's time for a change. I'm Ronald. Thanks for watching The Ronald Show, documenting the collapse of life as we know it as perpetrated by the global military-industrial complex.
Niemand minder dan John van de Heuvel. John, hi, mijn eerste vraag aan jou. Wat vind jij nou, naast jouw eigen programma, de beste misdaadprogramma's op televisie?
Ja, dat is toch het programma wat eigenlijk al jarenlang op de Nederlandse televisie te zien is. Het programma van Peter R. de Vries. Ja. Dat is natuurlijk een beetje concurrent van me, maar ja, op zich...
Oh, shit.
Ja?
Oh, jongens. Nou. Ik heb een ongelukje. Ik ben... Fuck. Oh.
Nou, waardeloos zeg. Zo. Ik denk dat je dat even kan...
The host of the Ronald Show, Ronald.